Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. Okay, 2015 then, Jurgen Klopp signed, October it was. When he's coming into the club, are you thinking, what's going to happen to me? What's he going to be thinking with me?
Well, first when a new manager arrives, always you have to prove yourself, and every single individual has to prove himself. So he came in mid-season, I think it was something like this. We actually played a okay season, ups and down, but which you would expect with a new coach and a new manager like him. But I had a good relationship with him. He was also from the continent, which suited me better. Then in the mid-season, we went on to sign Loris Karius. And at that moment in time, I think it was Brad Jones was the other goalkeeper. Yeah. His contract finished, so it's only normal for a club like Liverpool that you have two good goalkeepers, challenging for the number one spot. And it was that case that season, which didn't make it easy because it was game in, game out, turns and twists constantly between me and Loris. It didn't settle the position. And then I think it was around winter time when actually Jurgen decided to put Loris in as a number one. And that for me was a really bad moment because it was not only the decision that was made to play Loris, but also the moment when Virgil van Dijk came in to sign as a centre-back. Now, we all know and still is what a monster Virgil is and how good he is as a football player, and having to have somebody like him. And at the time, it was also Joel Matip to be playing centre-half. It would have meant a lot of a big difference for me also when he would have played in front of me. But okay, the manager needs to make a decision then, and he chose for Loris. And for me, then that was difficult to take. But okay, that's what football is about. I also learned through it. And then the season afterwards, after the Champions League final, Alisson got signed. And Ali is an unbelievable goalkeeper. So it was a pleasure to be able to work with him, to see his qualities. And also I learned Spanish through him, so I have to thank him for that also.
When he comes in, so obviously... If Liverpool go and sign a goalkeeper for let's say £15 million, you kind of probably could back yourself and go, this is fair game. But when they bring someone in for 67 million euros and you want to play football, at that point you go, okay, now it's time.
That's the difference between, for example, the year before when they signed Loris, and I think, I can't remember throughout my head, but it was 5, 6, 7 million, something like this. And then again, it's normal because Liverpool needs two good goalkeepers and you can compete with him. And I had the chance, or I had the feeling that I was competing with him. And I think, looking back to it now and also how I see my career evolving and what I did after that, I probably am the better goalkeeper than Loris. Now, it's not up to me to decide that, and especially not at that moment in time. But I think time told that I was able to be competing with him. Afterwards, when Ali got signed for 60, 70 odd million from Roma, then I'm honest enough and I'm smart enough to know that he's the better goalkeeper. And it was very difficult to compete with him. And I was actually happy to be able to sit on the bench for such a big Liverpool club behind him, and being able to go to the Champions League final and to win that final. Because you learn a lot from him in his trainings, and being able to work with him, you can learn from your eyes. That was not an issue because I was never going to be a 60, 70 million odd goalkeeper, one, and secondly, not a Brazilian like he is. So you accept it then, and that's not an issue at all. But at that moment in time, it was already after the last season when we won the Champions League, more than 1.5 years on the bench. And you know how it is, you want to play. And I also had the feeling that anywhere else, I could do a good job because I was in the prime of my career. And as a goalkeeper, I had 2 or 3 years left on my deal. And Alisson got signed, and he's still there now. I wasn't going to sit on the bench for the next 2-3 years because then my career was over. And that's not for me because I'm still playing now and I still want to be playing. And at that moment in time, it was the same. So we needed to find a solution, a decision.
For all the young goalies out there, Simon, what is it about Alisson? What is his qualities that make him one of the best goalkeepers in the world?
There's a few. First, he's really explosive. It's unbelievable what a jump he has and how strong he is. His reflexes, of course, and you can see that in his shot stopping. But because he's so explosive, it's his shot stopping and then being able to jump so quickly. And secondly, he's Brazilian, so he doesn't give a fuck, basically, to say it that way. So with his feet, he takes a risk and it doesn't matter. And also mentally, he doesn't care. You see that also with Ederson. Now, for me, I'm a different kind of guy, and I think 3 or 4 times about certain things in life.
What might happen? What might go wrong?
Exactly. They are not like this in their life. And that's probably a good thing, especially when you play for a big club like Liverpool. And you just don't think about anything. And if it goes good, it goes well. If it goes bad, okay, then it be like this. You know what I mean? If you're standing like this in life, it's a lot easier, especially at a kind of this club. And then also, of course, he was already from Brazil playing in Italy. He already had some experience. And when you get signed for 60, 70 odd million, you also have a good armor. You know what I mean?
This feels nice,
exactly. So it's a different scenario than when you sign for from Sunderland to Liverpool and everybody put a question mark behind your name. Then when you come from AS Roma for 60, 70 odd million, you're in a good position. Let's say it that way.
And then when you're leaving Liverpool, like you say, they're a year and a half nearly without playing first team football. You're 31, I think 32 maybe at this time. You're still good to go. You want to go play football. There were a couple options. There were a couple options for you, wasn't there?
Well, the main issue at that moment in time was because Liverpool was really happy with me as a number 2.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm a hard trainer. I'm a good guy in the dressing room. I didn't cause any havoc. I had a good relationship with Alisson and the goalie coach. Every single training. I wasn't a difficult guy. I was hardworking. That's what you need, basically, as a number 2. Somebody who's there, ready to play, experienced enough to be able to play, and not causing havoc.
Put their ego aside.
Exactly. For me, that was nice to hear that. But on the other side, if Liverpool then says, oh, you can't go because you're still on 2 years of contract, and you have to cost that kind of amount for a goalkeeper that is turning 31, 32, it's difficult then to find a club that is going to invest first for the transfer fee that Liverpool is asking, and secondly then to cover your wages because you still had a deal of 2 years. Then to be able to find a club was not easy. And every time when you go to a club, then they say, yeah, but he has to give up so much of his salary, or Liverpool is asking too much. And the longer it takes and the less you play, then the question is, yeah, but he hasn't played for 1 year and a half. Go on and find a club. So always there was, interest, and everybody was interested in signing me, but not to the level that they were going to cover my wages
and the transfer fee
for Liverpool. So you already had to find a really good club that was able to invest in it and believe in you to sign that deal. So it was really difficult, that transfer window, to find a club, and the longer it took, the more difficult it became, because Liverpool at that moment in time also needed to find a solution the moment I left. Yeah. Now, towards the final stages of the transfer window, and Bruges, because I know the president and also the sporting director really well from my time with the national team, they were already putting phone calls in from the winter at that time. What do you think about coming back? Also, but I always put that aside. I always put that forward, because coming back to Belgium gives me some sort of a risk. I was 32, and now looking back to it, it was the biggest or the best choice I could have made. But at that moment in time, it was a risk, because if I would have come back too early to Belgium and it wouldn't work out the way everybody wanted, then after 2-3 years and you're only 35, you're in trouble or you're in a problem situation. And ideally, you would have made that decision later in your career, when you were 34, 35, to come back to Belgium, and then still play another 2-3 years till the end of your career.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.